Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
All right, here we are, StarLadder Season 3. Got a winner's match between Cloud9 and Vega Squadron. It's a best of 3. Winner qualifies European Phase 3. So we get right on into this draft. I'm your caster, B-Cop, here with CC&C. Ready to take on this draft. We see that Cloud9, they've banned out the Underlord, banned out the Weaver, and then for the side of Vega, banned out Luna as well as that Venge.
10 seconds remaining.
Gonna wait for this first pick. How you doing today, CC&C?
5 seconds.
Meatball!
Radiant team pick.
We saw it getting banned first phase every game yesterday.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds.
Earth Spirit. Sven stands ready.
Dire team pick.
And today we do have Baby Knight back for Cloud9. It's not Mad as a stand-in, so it's the full squad this time around. And then right after that, we do see the Vega Squadron have picked up Earth Spirit as well as the Sven. Counter this Meepo a little bit.
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
The Undying wakes.
Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Right, so
team ban.
banned out is Jakiro, and then follow that up with Cloud9. They ban out the Winter Wyvern. Of course, they don't want that up against the Meepo. Meepo, Undying, Earth Spirit, Sven. I mean, is either team looking way better than the other right now in this draft?
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
And that Meepo really knows how to get farmed quickly, as you usually see a Meepo come online maybe about 10 to 12 minutes into the game, and they're going to ban out that Dazzle, and Cloud9 ban out the Tinker. Is there any reason that you'd ban out the Tinker? Is it just the Rockets up against Meepo? You just don't really want to deal with that, as well as the Laser?
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
So you've got
Reserve
Phoenix,
time.
Supernova, Magnetized for Earth Spirit. What's Cloud9? You know, they're trying to really get at this Meepo on the side of Vega. What do you got to put with this Meepo to really protect him now that they've got that Phoenix, Supernova, and the Magnetized for Earth Spirit?
Sand King.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. Five seconds remaining.
To me, with the draft that Vega's kind of rolling with now, maybe they purposely left that Meepo open,
Reserve time.
and they knew they might be able to counter it with the draft they're picking up right now. Spirit, Sven, Phoenix. What's your thoughts on really where they go next with this draft if they're really just trying to hard counter this Meepo with their entire draft?
Dark Seer.
Dire team pick. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Silencer.
Radiant team ban.
Or is it solo zoning and offlaner?
10 seconds
So by picking that,
remaining.
it sort of counters this Darkseer pick, not in the teamfight way,
5
but it's
seconds
going to
remaining.
at least make his laning life miserable. So Cloud9's safe laner will be enabled, and then also be able to pick,
Reserve time.
some mid. As Vega Squadron does have the last pick, so they won't be able to have the matchup they want, but the Silencer counters his Darkseer in lane and will be able to zone him really, really well while they have this dual offlane going on.
You think with and I'm getting used to just asking it every game,
Dire
Sven and the
team
Darkseer, are
ban.
they going to roll that Darkseer in the safe lane, Sven in the off lane, or Sven one of those heroes who really can't get away with that?
I think it'll have to depend. I'm not really sure. They may try and dodge and put the Darkseer
10
versus the
seconds
Undying Sand
remaining.
King. I think it's their intentions and
5
what's going to
seconds
happen
remaining.
may be different. They have to, it sort of depends on who gets the deep wards done, who knows where the lands are going, so they can
Reserve
set up
time.
how they want to. But Cloud9 definitely wants this Undying Sand King versus the Air Spirit Sven Phoenix.
Last ban from Vega is going to be that Oracle. They banned out the Dazzle, they banned out the Oracle. They really don't want to let anybody stay alive longer than they need to be. Vega, they're looking for a mid-hero, something that Cloud9 should really ban out right now, that they just really don't want their Meepo up against. They're just gonna... And maybe somebody's player on the side of Vega.
I mean, just ban just a solid mid hero. Lanes very
team
well
pick.
with a lot of heroes. SF also may be good for whatever Cloud9 picks for mid right now. They may be picking for Spirit, something like that. Although Vega do have a lot of ways to break the shield reasonably quickly. I think Ember is still quite good here, as it's very, very hard for him to die
10
with
seconds
Vega's
remaining.
current heroes in the SF, known for being very good versus the Ember in lane. It's
5
very hard for the
seconds
Ember to
remaining.
push up onto the enemy team whenever the SF is ahead, because you can sort of get right click down. Overall, it's just
Reserve
not a super
time.
fun matchup for Ember. The SF versus Ember matchup in lane is SF favorite, but it is skill based, so just not wanting to have to deal with that kind of a fault
10
matchup, I
seconds
guess.
remaining.
Or just, just in general, I have a good hero. It works for their lineup and sort of the
5 seconds
5-man style they
remaining.
have.
Pugna.
So Pugna is going to be the last pick. Wow.
Radiant team pick.
So where do you see these heroes for Cloud9 going now that they've picked up Pugna last?
They could run Pugna mid or Meepos mid. I think both are viable. I think it kind of depends on what Vega picks here for
10 seconds remaining.
their mid. And they'll sort of decide whether they want to put this Pugna or Meepo
5 seconds remaining.
and which one's safe lane. I think the Undying Sanking still goes dual off lane.
Reserve time.
That's the Silencer, and then one of the two goes to their safe lane. But yeah, I think a lot of it does come down to what Vega last picks here. We'll have to see.
Anything you're hoping
10
for the side of
seconds
Vega to pick up last?
Life Stealer.
It's going to be that life stealer.
So Sven mid looks like. Okay, so they're mixing it up. They realize that if they put the Sven in the safe line versus a dying Sanking, they're just going to get completely massacred. My sort of worry is that he's going to get massacred in this Pugna lane too. Can rotate in with the Earth Spirit, maybe try and kill him. If the Sven gets more than 1 point in Stormbolt, 2 or 3 points, they can maybe get a kill on the Pugna. But other than that, I feel like the Sven, there's just really no home for him to be in. No matter what lane he goes to, it could get messy. It could also be a Lifestealer mid, which would do a little bit better because you'd have Rage, so it's sort of hard for him to blast you down, and also much harder for him to threaten a kill on you at some point. So it could also be a Lifestealer mid, but the way Vega Squadron's lanes are going to turn out just sort of worries me. If they can get to this mid game intact, then they can definitely deal with this Meepo. But the Nether Ward also really, really good versus the 3 non-Svens of Vega Squadron. Crepify, very good versus physical damage.
Prepare for
Alright,
battle.
so again, just crazy lineup. They go with something like a support Sven or something like that.
I forgot the Cloud9 does this. It's support Pugna and it's mid Silencer.
Okay.
So it is mid Sven as well. So the Silencer is going to have a very good time against the Sven, and the support Pugna looks like he'll be down in this dual off lane, or maybe even an aggressive tri lane. Meepo solo. That's what it's looking like now. We'll have to see if one of them rotates up after a little bit. Yeah, I'd forgotten Cloud9 do this, so it is going to be the support Pugna.
Alright, so with that, we got Dityara on the Lifestealer, Seema on the Phoenix. For the Sven, it's going to be G and Seneko on the Earth Spirit once again, and Mag on that Darkseer, as we saw him play amazingly yesterday. For the side of C9, Ace is going to be on that Meepo, Baby Knight on the Silencer, Noya on the Undying Rise with the Pugna, and finally, that Sand King. It's going to be Hesta Joe here in this best of 3. Winner of this best of 3 does qualify for the next phase, and should line up to be a good one. Both teams played very well yesterday, and hoping they both bring their best into this best of 3, and we see some really good Dota coming out. So right away, we see Baby Knight rise, Hesta Joe, and Noya come towards this bottom bounty rune. Dityara and the Phoenix do have to bail out. Giving up that bounty rune and going back towards this one over on their side is Seneko to pick it up.
What have we here?
Still just 2 for 2 in terms of bounty runes.
Yeah, I really like this, the core Silencer. This, Seneko.
Hesta Joe is going to find Seneko. Seneko got a little greedy going for this bounty rune on the opposite side of the river. He does find most of the side of C9. Hesta Joe, Noya, as well as Baby Knight are going to find him and bring him down. So it's first blood for C9. Meanwhile, mid, there's going to be a rolling boulder in from Seneko. They're trying to get a kill on Baby Knight. There's the Stormhammer. Coming in with the Icarus dive is Seema. Baby Knight looks all but dead, and he will finally fall as Seneko grabs that last hit, and it's now right back to even at 1 apiece.
Yeah, I really like that early gank mid. Realizing that them being there, the first wave doesn't really do too much. It's a Lifestealer level 1, so we should be fine versus Undying. Very early on, and the Sven really needs a head start to do well in this lane versus Silencer, because once he starts getting some levels up, he's just gonna constantly pepper him with the glaives, and it's not gonna be enjoyable for the Sven.
Looking forward again, Seneko gonna go in with that rolling boulder. eat their ironwood branches, get those happy trees out there, get that regen, and there's no follow-up. As though maybe G didn't have enough mana for that Stormhammer follow-up. So, like you said, it's usually one and done with Sven.
Yeah, if the Silencer does get a lot of farm this game, I think he could have an extremely high impact. Very good versus both Sven and Lifestealer. Super good at kiting him with the extremely long attack range. The Silence, very good versus Lifestealer, and all of Vega's supporting cast as well. Silencer overall just a very good pick this game. Even if it was safe lane support, could have been very, very good. But I think I like it even more in this mid position, as the Pugna in this mid game would dive very, very easily to a lot of Vega's magic damage. So I think put the Silencer
going in again with that rolling boulder, get the stun. Baby Knight looking to get out. He will just back off with about 75 health. Curse the silent off on both G and Seneko. They're really looking for this kill, and they're being very aggressive in this mid lane. They'll shrine up, get their mana back up to close to full. With that, they can try again, looking for that rolling boulder Stormhammer stun on Baby Knight. So they're just keeping the aggression up on Baby Knight, and that's not hurting his farm terribly. He is only 2-1, so it does kind of suck to be mid Baby Knight right now on this Silencer. But what do you think he does now that he's got Noya in his lane as well, kind of babysitting?
I mean, just continues to farm, chill. Once he gets some levels, he'll be able to pressure the Sven. You can see already the Sven not really enjoying being in this lane, and the Sand King having a decent time 1v1 bottom down versus the Lifestealer. Now that the Undying is left,
it might be in a little trouble as he gets hit by that Stormhammer, as well as the rolling boulder. Icarus dive over the top from Sema. A couple more shots should do it, and they will get the kill split between the three of them. Now Baby Knight might be a little bit too far out, but not enough mana for that Stormhammer once again. And Baby Knight should survive, but they give up another kill in this mid lane. This time it's going to be Noya.
Yeah, just a little too far out, goes down. The Meepo, being such an incredible jungler as he is, once he gets level 3, they're actually putting the Pugna in the safe lane as well, and the Meepo just going to the jungle after starting in the safe lane, so the Pugna is going to get quite a few levels. Is going to be able to deal with the Starkster pushing the lane out with Ion Shells. He can just pull it behind the tower and then nuke the wave down. And also this Pugna is not going to be super far behind, he's actually going to have some good levels. And overall just be able to have an impact in this mid game because they are giving him a start in the safe lane. So overall, I just really, really like the laning stage from Cloud9. This mid lane is not going so well, but that's sort of the Vega's only bright spot right now, is how much pressure they're putting on mid. It's gotten a few kills, but overall, I think the early game favors Cloud9 a fair amount.
Burrow strike down low on this Lifestealer. Diggerot might be in a little bit of trouble. Here comes Noya. He's going to use those open wounds on Hestejo. He's going to drop the tombstone. They're really looking to get a kill on Diggerot, but the stun comes out from Seneko, and it will keep Diggerot alive, but he will give up his life as Hestejo gets that Burrow strike out on Seneko, and they do get themselves at least one down low as Diggerot really and close to death there with about 150 health. Gets saved by Seneko, who gave up his life for the greater good.
Yeah, he just wants to sit in here and get us level 6 so we can heal up to full, but C9 they know he's in here.
Yeah, there it is. Burrow strike with the decay, and they still find Diggerot anyway, so all for nothing on Seneko's part. He does keep him alive for a little bit longer, a little bit more XP goes his way, but he does end up falling in the end. Hestejo and Noya.
Baby Knight's keeping off the top, trying to make something happen, get a kill on Mag, as he's really not getting it. Oh, okay, Snow looks like he's just gonna sit and farm up top. That it's just gonna be his home now because he really can't lane versus this Sven or Spirit just sitting there anymore. He walks up, he's almost certainly gonna die to the roll. Stun follow up, and the Phoenix is there to dive and Spirit. So gonna come off the top. We'll have a hard time against the Starkster, but we'll be getting more than he was mid, so getting the Silencer as much as they can at this point. He's the only hero on their team really struggling, so trying to enable him, and in the mid game, Sand King was having a really good game as Undying.
Wow, they drop the wall for Rise as Seneko comes in with the rolling boulder. One shot till Seneko goes down. There's the Soul Rip, and Noya gets yet another kill, and Baby Knight's here with the Arcane Curse. Gonna have to surge himself out, and they're still continuing to chase.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, I don't think there's any real way they get that kill. They don't have anything to deal with the surge other than this the nuts and the stun from Sand King, and neither of those heroes there, so...
Too sure. I didn't think they needed to drop the wall on that. Maybe a misclick of some sort. Or maybe they really just wanted it. Meanwhile, down low, open wounds is on Hesta Joe. They're trying to get the kill on this Sand King, but here comes the Arcane Curse from Baby Knight. Maybe they look to turn this around. His team is very low on this Phoenix. There's the last word popping, and he will fall to Baby Knight. Hesta Joe still looking for a stun. He might find one on Saneko. Just a little too far out of range, and now Noya coming in from the back end. He is invis. You spot out Saneko, so this might be the end for him as Hesta Joe's making his way over, gonna eat that tree, try and get himself some space, but the stun comes out on 2 from Saneko, and he will be able to rolling boulder himself to safety by this shrine. Noya still going in on this.
Yeah, at the very least, Baby Knight now in this bottom lane with the Sand King, so the Sand King gonna slow down his blink a little bit, but is gonna make some space for Baby Knight. The Sand King already very farmed. And the Silence are gonna have a really nice time down in this bottom lane, gonna be able to get quite a creeps. Rise defending mid, so overall they're just switching their lanes non-stop based on the situation, not being super stuck in one lane or another, and it's really paying off. They're getting a lot of kills. They're gonna get this bottom tower now, so just being really just extremely flexible with their lanes, always reading the situation correctly and not leaving a hero in a bad place for too long. I really like the laning stage from Cloud9. Also -2.
Yeah, the Lifestealer goes down. I missed that one. I don't know how. Yeah, accidents when I miss kills on cam.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Take a look down low. Looks as though Baby Knight and Noya are going to make their way over mid. Maybe want to go in on this Sven. The ward is here from Vega. They're going to spot out Noya. Noya just going to pick up this bounty rune, and Baby Knight... so he's just going to continue to farm, grab this bounty rune as well. Everything seemed to calm down for both sides. They're just trying to farm up, get those next items for everybody.
Yeah, one of the bright spots of Vega is that G is having a very good game. Is about to close in on that armlet, so 4,100 net worth, just on par with the Meepo. So has had a lot of support from Spirit and the Phoenix this game, but is paying off. He is very farmed, so trying to enable their big counter versus the Meepo, and Sven in the later game can just absolutely annihilate this Meepo. The armor for his team works extremely well against the Meepo, has a very long AoE stun, so AoE control extremely good versus the Meepo, as well combined with all the damage they have. So the Sven being enabled, and I'm gonna go for the Mask of Madness next, so to speed up that farming and give him even more damage, give him some lifesteal, as maybe he doesn't want to go for the HOD this game. Let's do Ancients more, get more attack speed. Overall, Mask of Madness is just a pretty good item on Sven as well.
How long do you think we wait until we kind of see Ace involved in the team fights? We've seen the rest of his team involved in getting these 6 kills for the side of Cloud9, and Ace has really just been off and farming, and he's got himself that early Dragon Lance and looking for more. But do you think with that one Dragon Lance he can find himself something? Meanwhile, mid, Stormhammer comes out on Baby Knight. They will find themselves a kill. The Tombstone is down. They missed the Burrow strike from Hesta Joe. Global Silence comes out as well. It doesn't look like they're going to get anything on the side of C9 towards Vega as they get one on Baby Knight.
Base continuing to push top, having his 2 Meepos jungling. Right side of the map just killed the Ancients, and I'm moving back over to the Dire jungle, so has that second Dragon Lance already, so 2 Dragon Lances and Treads, 10 minutes, level 12. This Meepo on track to get completely out of control. Is going to have to play sort of around the Sven, going to be looking to maybe split push more, pick and choose his fights very carefully so that he doesn't die at all this AoE damage. But a very nice thing about the Silencer pick as well is that it gives this Meepo sort of a free 1 or 2 kills at the start of every fight. You can blink in, poof all his Meepos in, and the Silencer globals right when he jumps. So with the nets, you can just lock 1 hero down, lock 2 heroes down, kill them, and then the global will wear off, and they'll be short 1 or 2 heroes to kill this Meepo. So if he does jump the supports at the beginning of every fight, jumps the Sven, jumps whoever it may be based on the situation, has the global to always back him up. So it'll be very difficult for this Meepo to die in team fights as well, which is sort of what Vega's strength is.
taking a look down low at Sigurd. He was very poor. Meanwhile, mid, there's a Burrow Strike that comes out on Seneko. Seneko might be in a little bit of trouble. The Sunray is there. The Rolling Boulder is going to be blocked by Hesta Joe. It should be an easy kill. And Baby Knight will get credit for the kill on Seneko. Look at that mid-tier 1. And looking pretty good for C9 right now. They are up 3,000 in the XP category and 4,000 net worth. So things are looking pretty solid for C9, and they're kind of fighting 4v5 right now without Ace.
Yeah, Meepo just continuing to farming the right side of the map camps as well as the left at the same time, and the lane, moving his 2 Meepos around and keeping this one all by himself. Then Vega would like to be able to gank this one Meepo, but they're putting so much pressure in the other lanes. He's always shoving this out. He's not going to go back to the jungle and meet his other Meepos and give the Pugnus some more time in lane. Looks like he's going for a drum, and he's pretty close to it now. Just 1,000 gold away. And the Meepo just continuing to jungle, stay up the map. Has the 2 Dragon Lances and 1,900 gold now, so almost the blink on top of it. But Vega's having none of that. He's going to try and get a smoke gank on this Meepo before he gets too out of control.
They're going to look to find a kill. There's the Icarus dive with the Rolling Boulder. They've got the Supernova there onto Ace, who's trapped between these Ancients, and he will fall to G. Finally stop this farming of Ace on the Meepo, but you compare the net worth of this Meepo and the Lifestealer, they're still far behind this one kill. They got to continue to do it again and again if they really want to make it worth it.
Yeah, it does at least. The Sun catch up a little bit. They get damage on this mid tower, and the global is used. Snake missing boulder up top, almost able to kill Rise if he had hit that boulder. So a little unfortunate. Yeah, just buying their team some more farm time. You know, then the big point for Cloud9 is whenever this Meepo feels confident to get Roche on. They've taken up towers, and Meepo kills Roche, and they just try and walk down all the lanes, take a team fight, and then end the game with this Meepo. So Vega knows this time he needs to play around that and try their hardest to keep this Meepo from getting Roche once he feels strong enough. But looks like he's gonna come to top lane and try and take a fight around here. Not showing with his blink yet. So
Probably gonna sit back.
Radiant's top tower has
can get all 3 of them on top of him at once.
And they take these towers pretty quickly, and to me it feels like that Vega, they've got to do something, otherwise they're just going to continue to lose tower after tower if they don't defend, and if they just go down so fast, there's really not much that Vega can do with an underfarmed Nyx and everything else.
Yeah, they Vega really wanted the Sven to get to his Arma, his Masculinus, and the Blink Dagger. That was sort of the timing they were looking for, so they could, you know, wombo combo, but
they were trying to Rolling Boulder with the Infest. He'll finally pop out, but Seneko, he's already dead. Ziggurat's gonna have to use that Rage and try and get out. He's gonna try and kill the Tombstone. There is a big vacuum wall coming out from Mag. They're gonna try and turn it around now. G coming in, he's got 1, he's got 2, and now it looks as though Cloud9 have turned this a bit around as the Phoenix with that Sunray trying to kill off Ace. He will, it's a 3-for-3 trade. It looked as though Cloud9 had it, taking down 3 immediately. Now Baby Knight might be in a little bit of trouble. There's the kill from G. He's now dominating. They take out 4 on the side of Cloud9. So 3-for-4 trade in favor of Vega. And we might actually get more with as though Seneko was looking for this Undying, but he's not going to come that way.
Yeah, there's that insane team fight we talked about. They hit the massive vacuum wall, huge play from Mag, sort of saves this push. They really needed to defend this tower. They would just continue to lose map control, like you said, give up all their towers and then be in a really rough spot. But a really, really nice team fight, and this is all sort of aftermath of Baby Knight only being level 8, working on an HOD, but only 4k net worth as well, shutting him down like just absolutely masterfully. So the sounds are being extremely poor, so Cloud9 basically only having like 1.5 cores, and it's sort of paying there for it. The Sven was very, very slow, walked around, not doing anything for a majority of that fight, but Baby Knight just not able to dish out the damage during that time because of the poor landing stage he had. So after that fight, Vega very much back into this game, and the Sven now with the blink, they'll be working on the BKB next, and with that BKB, you'll be almost untouchable in these team fights.
Early in that fight, it looked as though it was going to go C9's way. They had taken out 3 pretty quickly, and then with this almost fine G.
Spidey senses.
And we were talking about that yesterday. It seems as though some of these players, they really just have it. Can just sense when danger is coming. I know people make fun of it, but it definitely seems true at times.
Dire's top tower
I mean, there weren't
is under
very, like, I don't
attack.
think there were any heroes showing on the map. He had pulled the mud golem camps down through this hook here, so it was harder for them to see. And SJO turned the corner and just barely blinked away. So nice play from G, farming at the right spots, farming in spots where smokes break. It's hard to see where he's farming.
Top. Now we're gonna drop this tombstone. Ace moving forward just a little bit. There's the burrow strike, but it is way off the mark. Now Sima's here with the Phoenix. He's gonna infest. Maybe they will turn it around. There's the arcane curse. Here comes G. Blinks in, and he's gonna hit Baby Knight to his demise really quickly. So they've got one thus far, and now the epicenter getting charged up by Heston Joe. It's gonna be onto Mag, not really doing too much. There's a supernova getting popped by Sima. They will bring down Ace, and Vega that's completely turned around this team fight. They've got the Stormhammer coming out on Pugna, and they will bring down another as 3 fall on the side of C9. So Vega, they get 3 kills, and after the previous fight before this, they've really turned around this
Radiant's
game.
middle tower is
Yeah,
under
like we
attack.
said, if you aren't banning evil, then you have the strategy to play against it, and they really do here. No, it's like what's happening in a lot of TIs. If there's this hero that you're just so scared you have to ban every game, sort of a niche pick, and you just have to ban it every game, then they just sort of get away with it, and you have to waste the ban every first ban phase. But if you let it through and you beat it with a strategy you've built up, then they're sort of scared to pick it in the future. So you sort of just, for future games against Cloud9, have made drafting a lot easier, or have opened up other picks that maybe they want to take. So overall, a very, very good strategy from Vega. And after these past couple of team fights, the Meepo not so high in net worth anymore, only up to 9k. Sven above him now, and the Sven well on his way to a BKB. So that completed, these team fights are going to be looking quite grim for Cloud9, even with the extremely strong team fight of their lineup.
You're right, he's finding himself enough space, and with these team fights that they're winning, he's getting himself back in it in terms of net worth, as he was down to like 4,300 net worth out 5 minutes ago, so maybe even less than that. So he's really starting to pull it back. I'll have a life stealer to really help out this Sven.
Yeah, plus 2k gold on top of the Blight Sun, so probably going to be going for that Deso. Gonna make bursting these meepos and these squishy supports with low armor even easier. Baby Knight, only 6 armor, but they are going to go for this Roshan. So, like we talked about, Meepo extremely good at getting the Roshan, is level 15, so has the life steal talent, and is going to make killing this Roshan very easy, barely even going to lose any HP, and that's sort of Cloud9's ticket back into these team fights, away from them to take them again. Meepo has 2 lives, maybe kill a couple of supports, die, and then come back and then finish off the rest of the fight. So, a nice sneak from Cloud9. Got their lanes up before they did it. This mid lane pushed out very far, so they got not really able to do too much off of that. Sorry, this bottom lane pushed out.
Do you think the Aegis really helps this Meepo though? It seems like they're just getting melted in team fights to the point where a second life only extends the inevitable, where Vega's just melting the side of C9 and really just destroying in fights.
I think it gives this Meepo the opportunity to jump 1 or 2 squishy supports, kill them, then he goes down, and the rest of the team goes in. They finish off the team fight that way. Have the Meepo starting off, sort of being isolated almost, trying to pick heroes off, trying to blow them up at the start of the fight. He goes down, so that way he can sort of be more aggressive in these fights, suicide, and not be so scared.
Enon Seneko will just get the poof and get the easy kill on the Earth Spirit Seneko. Sorry about that.
Radiant's middle tower
Yeah, just do sort of things like this, getting these pickoffs, and now Vega really has to be a little bit worried. It's only 1 Earth Spirit down, and he's a very, very short respawn timer, as he is only level 8. So not the biggest deal in the world, but they're gonna get that mid tier 2. Vega, Seaman the Slayer, pushing in bottom, doing the laser and then TP out, so getting this wave all the way into the tower, and the Undying actually cancels his TP, so it looks like Cloud9 wants to stick around and fight, don't want to deal with this bottom lane right now. They really want to, they want to punish Vega around this area, maybe take more map control, try and even break base if they take a good fight here.
Meanwhile, Mag is trying to push up top, trying to force C9 back in some way, because they can definitely feel the pressure coming in mid. I'm not too sure they're ready to fight just yet to defend that high ground.
As we say that, Mag TP's back, looks like they may smoke out. They do see that Sanking illusion, so we can wait till it dies so it doesn't see the smoke edge over the cliff. And Looks like they're gonna run straight up the top, pushing the lane and going smoke to it because they know that someone's gonna be pushing it out. So nice move from them. They'll have the ion shell this way mid. Actually, they're not, so I'm not gonna give them a chance of giving it away. But I think Cloud9 may have seen the ion shell damage a little bit, so booking it away. Oh, Baby Knight being caught.
There's the rolling boulder coming in. The silence is out on Baby Knight. There's the infest pop and an easy kill on Baby Knight. And Rise might be in a little bit of trouble. He just gets himself out. And Vega with an easy pick off on Baby Knight might look to push this top tower.
Yep, Ace immediately gonna start split pushing bottom. It looks like Vega maybe want to catch them this bottom lane, so pushing out their lanes and immediately just gonna try and fight them every step of the way. As G does have that BKB now, so extremely strong in these fights. The Lifestealer as an Echo Saber can be working on Sajin Yash now, looks like. So he's actually going to be mobile against these Meepo nets, going to be able to get on top of the Meepo, curse all these kiting spells, be able to move around better in these fights, get on top of the targets he wants to. Overall, you know, mobility in these fights for Vega is absolutely huge.
Blink Burrow Strike in, Ace with the poops. They're trying to bring down G. He does pop that BKB, but just a little too late as Ace gets the kill onto G, and now they look towards grabbing this bottom tier 2. Might even look for more as this spends down for 50 seconds. They're going to try and push this high ground on the bottom tier 3, maybe try and check if he has that buyback, and if he doesn't buy back, just continue to put full pressure on it.
Yeah, he doesn't have buyback, so they may actually lose racks here. The Aegis on the Meepo, like we talked about, lets him do this. If he doesn't have Aegis, they can just go on a full commit, kill the Meepo, and you know, think life would be easy, but the Meepo has the E-Blade, so a ton of damage on every Meepo, and just chain gunning down these racks. So a little apprehensive, but tossing in some nets.
And they do get the poof in and immediately kill Seema. He's going to buy back. There's a vacuum wall on a bunch, and now they're looking for more. It looks as though Diggerod's going to fall. He's going to be the next one to go down. They're looking for something as the Magnetize comes out from Saneko onto C9. Doesn't look to be doing enough, and even if it does bring down Ace, he's still got that Aegis alive, and it's just Mag, Saneko, and Seema to defend this Rax, and they've already lost it. They do end up popping the Aegis. They might want to move in on this. There's the Icarus dive forward, and the epicenter comes in from Hesta Joe, but really towards the end. Seema's going to go down to Rise. They're trying to get Hesta Joe, who's going to be soul ripped back to about full health. There's the mech use. Saneko goes down. G going to pop that BKB. There's another vacuum, as well as the cleave damage from G will bring down Ace. And now they're looking for more as Rise is trying to run away. He's got that Ion Shell on G. G's got that God Strike. There's the Burrow Strike. And there is the Decay. The last word comes out on G. G might be in a little bit of trouble. It's just Hesta Joe, Rise, Baby Knight, and Noya. And they're trying to turn this around on G. Mag might be a little bit too far out as they do get the Burrow Strike, and a couple more hits from Baby Knight will do it, and only 2 are alive for the side of Vega. That's Diggerod and G. Diggerod gonna hit away at Noya. Noya gonna Ghost Scepter himself, or gonna get Ghost Sceptered and leave. Or
yeah,
not Ghost Sceptered, Decrepified.
Yeah, that's the power of this Meepo, playing around this BKB, not taking these 5-man fights where Vega's able to set up and get their spells off, but instead just jumping the spend not having buyback, and them really paying for it there. This Aegis on the Meepo just paying massive dividends and getting them entire racks there, and really swinging the net worth lead sort of back the other way. And you know, Vega's still in a good spot net worth wise, not as good as they were before, but they really have to be careful. It's the game definitely not over, but they're playing with a knife's edge. You lose one more fight, and you lose another racks, because Meepo just takes building so incredibly fast with that E-Blade and the Dragon Lances.
Still do have the buyback on G. It's available if Diggerod can get 94 more gold. It shouldn't be too hard. Do you think C9 really sit back and wait for another Aegis, or do they continue to put the pressure on? And while I say that, they're going to smoke up, so I feel like I kind of got my answer right there.
Yeah, they want to get on top of G. They want to, you know, blow a hero up at the beginning of this fight, global, and free kill that way.
He's gonna find Seema. He's gonna use that supernova. That's really not gonna help. There's the BKB with another big vacuum wall. Stormhammer. The cleave takes out the entire side of C9 just like that, and they'll give up Seema for the full team wipe on C9. A great turnaround by Vega. Woo!
That's not how they want to take the fight.
It was a blink of an eye. Turn that around. Vacuum wall comes in from Mag, Stormhammer, as well as the God Strength Greater Cleave from G. They kill the entire side of C9 and completely turn the game around just like that.
Dire's middle tower
Caught in the
has
vacuum
fallen.
wall, slightly out of positions. Completely turns it
Dire's
around.
middle tower
They get a
is under
5-man wipe, and now tables have been turned. G hitting on the high ground, doesn't have the god strength because he did use it in that last fight, and some of Cloud9's heroes respawning. Everyone but the meeple, so they may have to back up, play it safe after that really good team fight. G working on the Daedalus now as well if he does go for that. Has the Crystallis, so probably gonna be that Daedalus. And gonna make those big wombo combos kill Cloud9 even faster. Just once, a couple of shots on this meeple, and we'll kill him and basically the rest of his entire team.
Damage.
And Vega, they don't want to just leave, they want to punish, and they figure Cloud9 is going to move out in their rights, sitting on this hill, going to try and catch someone. Joe moving slightly in the wrong direction for that.
Nako's going to be there with the Infest. There's the Stormhammer, and the Infest immediately pop. They'll take out Baby Knight. They're looking for more. There's the Rolling Boulder. Tombstones drop to the high ground. Noya might be in a little bit of trouble. There's the vacuum. He will get the kill, and G finds another. And now the Burrow Strike comes out on 3 from Joe. He'll force staff to the high ground and leave with a little bit of ease.
Yep, they sit back on the hill, realize that Cloud9 is probably going to push out. They want to make something happen. They don't want to let Vega chill and get a bunch of items up. This is the Lifestealer continuing to build up items. The Sven getting very, very farmed, getting to that one-shot territory. But, catching Baby Knights as well as the Undying. So, gonna get this tier 3 tower and then back up again. Maybe look to turn once again on this hill, or just stay around this area, try and get the lanes out. Just hold control of Cloud9's side of the.
Back off just a bit. They're going to check Roche. Not up for a little while, and I think maybe the plan for Vega might be to sit back a little bit, farm, go get that Roche, and finish off the game if they can do so.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Mag shoving in this top lane has 3,600 gold, so it's going to have the Blink Dagger and make these fights extremely hard for Cloud9 to not get vacuum walls. He's always going to be just sitting there waiting, and as soon as the global wears off, if they don't get the global wall, going to jump in that back wall. And it doesn't even have to be on 5 heroes, just 1 or 2 is enough, as the Sven will cleave them down. They'll be able to take the fight from there. All of 5, as we saw last fight, is optimal. Ace continuing to just farm up the entire map, 1 meeple in each camp, and the main meeple walking around looking for patience potentially. For that Scotty next, so gonna try and kite the cores of Vega even more, but this meeple really needs to have the advantage in some of these fights. Like, he has to jump in and get on top of a hero and force them to run away. If they can just turn and fight him, then he's gonna get slaughtered by the Sven and their magic damage. So they have to be in a position where they're chasing Vega down. If they're not chasing them and Vega turns to fight them, then this fight could turn grim for Cloud9.
And we've seen that happen about 2 times in a row now, as G as well as Mag have set up just huge team fights for the side of Vega and wiped D9. So we see that when Vega, they kind of not getting chased back into their base. They seem to have the upper hand in this game right now.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Like we saw earlier, with a meepo, you can get a pick off, and then the game just instantly turns around, and they both know. Or whose creep is that? Okay, so that's Baby Knight's creep. So Dire knows Roche is up. I don't think Vega does. So both know that Roche is extremely important. Both getting wards up around this area. Dire with slightly better vision, seeing the Lifestealer here. So both teams gonna start playing around this Roshan, and if Vega can get that, then the game will be very, very it'll be considerably easy for them to play out, whereas Cloud9 really needs that to have a glimmer of hope, where it's just too easy for this meeple to die. So a super focal point here, and Vega may be able to close out this game if they do manage to get the Aegis.
Spot out Rise for a second, so they're gonna know that C9 are just sitting towards this Roche pit. Of course, Ace has a couple of meepos down low, but he's ready to poof right on back. Definitely seems the battle of who goes in first on this Roche pit.
Yeah, Ace having the right ID here, as well as Joe pushing in this bottom lane. So while this Roche standoff goes down, gonna start splitting bottom and force someone to rotate over. So not gonna give Vega the opportunity to have all 5 heroes there. They're splitting top as well, but might actually get caught.
Seneko, I'm not too sure he spots him just yet. Mag's coming over. Seneko's infested, so they might be able to get a kill on Ace if they do go in on this right now. There's Blink in with the Magnetized Infest, comes in with the vacuum, but Seneko completely gets turned around on, and he's going to fall first. Ace is going to get very low. The wall is dropped. Global Silence comes out a little bit too late, and Ace will pay the price, and Ditya is going to get credit for that one.
Yeah, he almost turned and killed all 3 of them, but choosing the right one, making sure they don't split any of their damage, and takes the Meepo down, and now they're gonna try and get this bottom lane out, force Hestajo out of it, so they maybe can take this Roshan once the Nico spawns. So a very, very nice pick off from Cloud9, and Meepo does have this buyback, but I don't think he wants to use it. So
Their Meepo, maybe they give up Roche. There's a Stormhammer. Decrepified is G, but they're still trying to go in on Rise. He's going to use that Glimmer Cape to find himself a bit of an escape. So he's there with the Noya, pushing up his Seema on this Phoenix, and going over towards Roche is G. They know that Meepo's still down, and he hasn't fought back just yet, so you get the feeling he's just not going to, and they'll move their way into Roche and look for this Aegis.
yep, dying very, very quickly, already at half HP. Looks like Ditya is going to be the one taking this, since he does have a slot freed up in G. Oh!
Ditya still going to get that Aegis. Rolling Boulder out with the dust. Hestajo going to be in a lot of trouble. There's the Stormhammer, and one swipe is going to be there from G, and he will get the kill on Hestajo.
Yeah, so Cloud9 feeling the pressure. You can tell that Sand King really wanted to take this Aegis. Maybe give Cloud9 a better shot at one of these next team fights, but with the Meepo without the Aegis and the Life Stealer with it, they really have to get an amazing initiation. I also really like this Life Stealer going for the Manta style, so able to burn off the Silence, burn off the Decrepify if it does get put on the Life Stealer, purge up of all silencers, slows, as well as purge the Meepo net. So overall, just a very good pick off, and lets him be much more mobile in these fights and actually get on top of heroes.
There's no Ags on this Meepo. You think that might be holding him back just a little bit?
I don't think it matters too much, just the one Meepo. Going for this Hex is sort of the play they have to make, so that way they can maybe set up around the map, get some pickoffs, and be able to take the base in sort of a 4v5 scenario, 3v5 scenario. Because in a 5v5, it's very unlikely that Cloud9 are able to take a fight if Vega has vision, if they're able to get the jump, or even just some semblance of a jump. G with the Bloodthorn now as well, so able to actually kill his Pugna without getting decrepified, able to jump this Undying and just two-shot him. Very good versus all of their heroes, and the Silence is going to pay dividends as well. There's not many ways to purge it off on Cloud9 at all. In fact, there's no ways to purge it off, except for the Guardian Greaves on Undying, but that's just him.
Yeah. So they're gonna push bottom, look for this tier 2. Should be an easy tower for them, as of right now, it doesn't look like C9's gonna make any rotations. I'm not too sure they want to fight out of their base, especially with the Aegis out on Vega for Ditya. Meanwhile, mid, it looks as though Rise is going to push this creep wave, try and counter push just a little bit. Seneco's over to try and clean it up, and he does have the invest of Ditya on him at the moment. So if they could find out Rise or find one of the heroes on C9, which they're trying to do with that rolling boulder to the high ground, are going to spot Rise. Do get the stun despite having the Glimmer Cape, and now there's the Sunray from Seema. They will get the kill from Ditya. And everybody just makes the rotation over, and they do find yet another kill on C9. This time it's going to be Rise.
Yeah, the gem on Seneco paying dividends. We got to check around, look for some of these wards, but Cloud9 with some very nice deep wards, able to scout where Vega is going to push out these lanes. They can push out the other lanes. Lets them also maybe scout for some pickoffs at Hestajo. Maybe the wrong place at the wrong time.
Hestajo will be able to TP out to your not with a basher, so
yeah, so they could have gone the other direction to T-Ward. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication, but may also have had a stun when cooldown and not out of range. So either way, Hestajo does kill some of these creeps and get back to base. And Meepo actually with a Hex now completed level 25, so the 400 plus health as well as a DD, so about to wear off. So not gonna get the benefit of that.
So it looks as though Vega, they're going to go after these shrines again. C9, they don't look like they want to fight at all. They want to keep the pressure somewhat on Vega. Just don't want to fight against this Aegis, and they'll try and stay away from Vega as much as they can, farm up what they can, and they do have that Hex out on Ace now, and he's looking for Boots of Travel. It was Scotty before, but he's changed it up to Boots of Travel, so just looking to get that movement availability for him.
Yeah, I'm just trying to stall this game out. The Silence are slowly creeping up in net worth, and we said in the start of this draft, the Silence are very, very good versus both of Vega's cores. So If he does get to the point where he actually has a fair amount of core items,
Radiant's
could
top
turn
tower is
grim
under
for
attack.
Vega very, very quickly with the nets and all the kiting power they have. Looks like maybe setting up down bottom. I'll find a pickup. Let's see.
He is bottom. Sineko off on the wing.
What did they see? But Noya somehow knows that they knew too, and wow, that was so weird.
TP out. Sima was going to be there with the Icarus dive. They TP out. No fight. Now, actually, Rise might be in a little bit of trouble. G coming around the back, does have that blinking Bloodthorn, so if he does want to go for this, there's the Warcry with the Bloodthorn and the Stormhammer. A couple of shots will do it. Another kill for G. He's now 12-1. It's another on Rise.
Yeah, the wall actually dropped in the top lane. Tried to find Joe, just barely gets out. Sineko slightly missing the kick. And Joe able to TP out, finishing up the Hex now as well. So 2 Hexes on Cloud9. Really playing around this initiation game with the global. Bursting heroes and taking the fight very, very quickly. So that Vega doesn't have a chance to just womp heroes down.
If there's anything next for this Sven coming in, maybe a Moon Shard, just save for buyback for now. He's got boosted travel already, so he can get into the fights. What do you think his next item is possibly going to be?
They think a Satanic would be pretty good. An AC, a Butterfly would all be fine. Maybe a Mad Style himself as well, just to keep this kiting low, but he doesn't have enough damage to basically have to be able to 1 or 2 shots.
Ace is going to try and go in there. Immediately going to get the stun on Noya with Diggerok coming out. Silenced up is Ace. Ace might be in a little bit of trouble. He tries to turn this around on Sineko. There's this global silence coming out, but G, he just hits way too hard for Ace. And that's going to be him going down again. Meepo dead for 91 seconds. This is going to be a problem for C9. Hopefully Vega, what they're hoping to do is force the buyback out from this Meepo and maybe fight one more time for the win. You get the stun. Decrepify does come out, but he's silenced up. Here comes G with the Stormhammer. 1 shot. There it is. G with another.
Cloud9 just desperately trying to force out these lanes, but Vega very, very aware of what they want to do and just getting pickoff after pickoff as Cloud9 just scrambles to shove these lanes out as far as they can so Vega can't approach the base. But 3 dead, and this mid-wave in, it looks like they feared most is about to happen.
They're gonna try and take this mid set of racks. There's God Strength pop by G. Glyph does come out. They're trying to not have to buy back on this Meepo. But with this set of racks going down, they might be able to get bottom as well. I feel like at some point you gotta realize as Ace, you gotta buy back and try and stop this. There's the stun coming out on Baby Knight. The buyback is there from Ace, coming in with the Icarus dive. Lotus Orb is used, both hexed up. Now there's the Infest with the big vacuum wall onto Ace. Ace might be in a little bit of trouble. He just fought back, and if he goes down, this could all be it, and he will fall. That's 105 seconds with no buyback, and now there's the stun from Joe with the Burrow Strike and trying to get that life drain from Pugnum, but not going to be enough as Sineko gets the kill on Rise. Rise going to buy back. There's still the wall here. Seaman just waiting in the wing. There's the Burrow Strike. It's going to come out on Diggerah. There's the dust popped. And Arcane Curses on Sineko, but they try to turn this around. Hex up is Diggerah. There's the blink with the Stormhammer from G. G's going to get himself a kill on Joe. They're trying to turn it still, as it will be Mag who gets the kill on Baby Knight. Well as Noya falling, and GG is called by C9. It's completely turned around and crumbled in their faces as Vega take game 1.
Yeah, Diggerah was some incredible farm while toggling that last 5. Props to him. That was really nice. But yeah, overall, a draft and a game that swung very back and forth throughout it, favoring one draft over another, favoring, and as the game